Hey, what is up heroes? It's that time of year again. Welcome to my top 10 best Pokemon fan games of 2018. Now like always, these are games I've played this year on and off the channel. I'm not going to include anything I haven't played because I can't say it's the best if I've never played it, you know? So everything on this list I have played and I have completed this year in 2018. If you want to play any of these games, the forum link for these games will be in the description down below. Go check them out. If you're looking for more games than these 10, make sure to check out the two best places to find games, relicastle.com and pokercommunity.com. We will have a top 10 going over my all-time 10 favourite fan games in the future, so look out for that. Also, we have a special guest giving his favourite fan game of 2018 later on in the video, so make sure you'll give him some love. Without further ado, let's get into this list. So, number 10, we're starting things off with Pokemon Z Continental Distortion. I always wanted a Pokemon Z, and here we are. This game has it all. Lots of legendary Pokemon events, Shadow Pokemon, you got Ash Greninja, you got Alana as Mega Charizard, even has the Z-Ring and lots of different evil members from different Pokemon games, which is pretty awesome. So basically the story goes, after defeating Team Flare, you get into a tragic accident and get amnesia. And so you're now trying to stop these evil teams from getting Zygarde, as it has the power to bring peace or chaos, and obviously the bad guys are going to be using it for chaos. So you're going to stop them. It's got a pretty rad story, and do you remember the red Zygarde from the anime? Well, that's in this game as well, and you can do a Zygarde vs Zygarde battle, which is pretty swell. I felt like every 20-30 minutes there was like an event happening, and I never felt bored playing this game. You got lots of returning characters, pretty cool Pokemon you can capture during the game. Hopefully one day this game will get finished, as it was really fun to play through. But Pokemon Z is on number 10. Number 9, we have a Zoroark Among Us, which was made for the Relic Castle Game Jam. Now, if you know me, you know I'd have to jump on this game because Zoroark being my favourite Pokemon, I had to jump into this and it did not disappoint. So you play as Zack, who is secretly a Zoroark, who basically wants to hide from the humans. So he thinks, let's be a human and I'll get a starter Pokemon and we can help protect each other. So you get this Mischievous, who is absolutely hilarious. But basically, Mischievous takes control in this relationship, wants you to take on the gym challenge so Mischievous can, be the best, it can become the champion of the region, just to prove its worth. And if you don't do that, then Mischievous pretty much leave you or out you, so you pretty much gotta do what Mischievous says. What I love about this game is you can actually speak to Pokemon, like in the overworld. Obviously as you're a Pokemon you can understand them, and it's really interesting to see what they have to say. So you can speak to a Marwa, you can speak to an Eevee, a Jolteon, there's a few other Pokemon you can speak to. It's really awesome. So the story is really cool, as you almost get caught a couple of times. Like you go into a gym and the gym leader touches you, and obviously because you're an illusion, you look like a human but you still feel like a Zoroark, and you can feel the fur on your hands, but luckily he's blind. So it's quite a short game, as it was made in a short period of time for the game jam. But the creator said if there's enough interest in the game, which hopefully there is, I would like to think there is, because I love it, and from what I've heard from people in the comments and who have played it, they really enjoy it. Hopefully they'll continue working on the game and we get more content for it in the future. But I think it's a really cool concept. It's such a cool idea, playing as a Zoroark, and yeah, a Zoroark Among Us is number 9. Number 8, we have Pokemon Jade, and no, not that god-awful bootleg Pokemon Jade that was just absolutely trash. This Pokemon Jade, made by Peppertron and RPG Faker, is the good Pokemon Jade. This is the one you want to play. So currently, this game is in its first beta, has 3 gyms, with a second beta planned going up to 6 gyms, which is awesome. The reasons why I love this game is because 1, the Fakemon. The Fakemon in this game are beautiful, really well designed. I love a game with Fakemon, and this has some amazing ones in it, and I really do love pretty much every single Fakemon I've seen in this game. I love the starter Pokemon Marleaf, and I forget the names, but there's a Rhino that looks so adorable. I really want to get one. And then you got some Kangaroo Dude, which I remember using in my playthrough, who was really, really awesome. The game is beautiful, the sprites, background, all that good stuff. It's just a pleasure to look at. It's a really nice looking game. And then lastly, the evil team, Team Wild. They just look really cool, and the Fakemon they use just accompanies them so well. It just looks like an all-round great Pokemon game. Pokemon Jade is just a game to look out for. Whether you want to play, Beta 1 or wait for Beta 2 or even wait for its full release, this is a game that you should definitely keep on your radar. For number 7, we have Pokemon Bird Call, which is another game made for the Relic Castle Game Jam this year, and this was a really fun game to play. So for the story, the professors ask you to investigate some birds, which are Articuno, Zapdos and Moltres. Once you find them, you can battle them or you can just capture them, totally up to you. Once you do that, they'll drop a feather, which you can then show to the professor so he can complete his research. I don't want to spoil anything, but those feathers, there's more to it than just a key item. Just remember that when playing through the game, because, you know, you might find a few secrets. The thing I love about this game is you're free to go and do what you want in any order. The freedom of an open world game is really nice in Pokemon, it just suits the game so well. So if you want to go to the volcano first, you can do that. If you want to go to the ice caves first, you can do that. If you want to do it in any order you want, it's just so nice to have that freedom. Also, the game's going to have some post-game content coming soon in an update, so look out for that. The game also has some Easter eggs, which are really sweet. Like, if you name your character after a leader from Pokemon Go, you start off with their respective legendary birds. If you name your character Spork, you'll get Zapdos as your starter, which is super sweet. Pokemon Bird Call is easily my favourite fan game from this year's Game Jam. But please don't let it stop you from checking out the other games in the Game Jam, because there are many really good games created for that Game Jam this year, and there were so many I haven't played yet, but there's also so many that I wanted to put on this list, but we can only have 10, and because they're made in such a short amount of time as well, they're really good for, you know, 2 months, 3 months work. It is just really worth checking those games out, 100%. At number 6, we have Pokemon Phoenix Rising. Now, this is probably one of, if not the most hyped up fan games ever. And personally, I think it delivered. I quite enjoyed this game. I really liked the fact there was no gyms, but there was quests. I thought, without a doubt, this game is the most beautiful fan game out there. Everything just looks incredible. The Relic Pokemon, they are so well designed. Relic Coffin looks amazing. I was a little bit disappointed I couldn't get my Relic Rose Raid during the playthrough, but obviously this was, what, the first 2 hours of the game, and I already have a Relic Roselia. You can't expect to get everything. I mean, Relic Rose Raid could be a little bit OP, we don't know, but I have to probably wait till the next update or the full release to get that bad boy. But this game, I thought, was really well put together. I just wish there was a little bit more to it, because I was really getting into the story, thinking, okay, I'm getting into this world, and then just BAM! End of the demo. I was like, oh. Kind of ended at an awkward spot, but I really did enjoy it, and I really did love the side quests in this game. Like that Riddle side quest, it was so interesting and fun to do. I spent ages trying to figure out the puzzles for that, and if we can get more side quests like that, that'd make me super happy, because I love puzzles. I mean, I hate ice puzzles. Ice puzzles suck so much, but this little riddle puzzle was so fun to do in this game. But overall, I thought Phoenix Rising was a very good game. Like I said before, it just ended a bit too early, and I kind of wish there was a little bit more story, because obviously we just get thrown into this world. It's so nice, you're learning about it, and then just all of a sudden, bam, end of demo. But without a doubt in my mind, I know when this game gets fully released and we can experience this world, all of it, you know, every nook and cranny, get all the lore and stuff, it is going to be one of the best fan games, if not the best fan game out there. It was just ended too short. That's the only thing with it. Like, this game was fantastic, just I need to know more about the story, because it was so interesting, and you just hit a brick wall and you stopped and you're like, okay, I want to know more, but we just can't. But yeah, when the full release comes, oh, you better believe I'm excited for it. Number 5, we have Pokemon Sardonyx Raised to Win. Going into this game, I wasn't ready for what would happen, and I think that's a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you want to look at it. I'll get into that in a little bit, but so here's a bit about the story. You live in a region called Altaris. One day you decide to get your Pokemon and become a trainer, but during your adventure you find out there's a bit of a gang problem. The gangs, though, aren't like your traditional gangs in Pokemon. Instead of stealing Pokemon, they engage in death battles, pitting Pokemon against each other, usually in a one-on-one. And this is where I wasn't prepared. So there'll be a few battles during the current beta. Some are unavoidable, where if you lose your Pokemon, it dies. It's kind of like a Nuzlocke, and I was not ready for that. There's a few people I was like, okay, let's get into this battle, and then got to choose one Pokemon. I was thinking, okay, a one-on-one, I'm down for this. And as soon as I lost, I was like, oh no, reset game, quick! I want to keep that Pokemon. And it was really fun. Like, I felt like it was a Nuzlocke I could cheat at, because every time a Pokemon died, I wanted to reset. But if I was playing it like a Nuzlocke, I wouldn't revive it. It's just because when I first started the game, I don't know if you guys can get it now, but through Mystery Gift, you can get a really special Charmeleon. and I got that, and I did not want it to die because I really wanted to see what Charizard looks like, but I just ended up killing it like 3 or 4 times during my playthrough. But I believe in the future there will be a way to revive the Pokemon that died during your playthrough. But obviously, I cheat a little bit. I don't want to die straight away. I mean, if a Pokemon had to die, I would just go for a common Pokemon. So if you don't want your best Pokemon to die, 100% I recommend just one of your team members just being someone that you can throw away whenever, you know, if a death battle comes. Just bam, throw him in, let him die, and then just, you know, get a new one. Because I think when I ended off the beta, I lost my Altaran, Pidgeotto, and Magikarp, and I think maybe another Pokemon, but I can just go and recapture them, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But on the subject of Altaran Pokemon, this game has regional variants, which are so cool. Some of the best regional variants I've seen. The design fits the type and abilities so well. It brings a whole new life to these old Pokemon, similar to how like Sun and Moon did for the Kanto Pokemon that received Alolan forms. This game, like, you can get Altaran Mankey, which just looks so cool. Growlithe, and there's like Pidgey. I think there's a Shinx. There's just so many, and it's so nice to see like these cool Pokemon getting like some new designs. These forms just breathe new life into some of these Pokemon. It was really fun to like try and get as many as I could. I do need to mention as well that the story is pretty dark as well, so be careful because there is a lot of death and stuff if you're not into that. It is quite a dark story, but I really enjoyed it, and honestly I cannot wait for more updates of this game because the end of the current beta was so damn good, and I was just like, okay, I want to play more, but at least now by the time the new update comes I should, you know, I can go back and just make sure my team is ready for the next beta and just bam, go through that and just experience more death battles, which is, oh man, that's so fun but so intense. Number 4, we have Pokemon Spork. Now Spork is completed with some post-game, and it's a really excellent game. It's very interesting because in this world, death does not exist, so no person or Pokemon ever dies. And this world just, it had me hooked. I was so intrigued throughout the whole game. The morals of each person is very fascinating, but I can't really get into that too much because spoilers, and I don't want to spoil you guys. But basically the story is you and your sister go on vacation and decide to take on the League Challenge. And on your way you run into Team Portal, who are up to something which I won't spoil. You'll have a very big selection of starter Pokemon, almost any Pokemon pretty much. There are 18 gyms for you to defeat and a lot for you to explore. One thing I want to mention, which I absolutely love about this game, is something right at the end of the game you guys won't see until the end. It's not spoilery, but I'll leave out a lot of details that would make it spoilers. But there's some rooms where the creator tells you things that could have happened in the game, like what was going through their head for certain characters, and you know how each character would act and their personalities, and it's just, you get insight on how the story comes together. It was just really interesting, and honestly I would really love it if every fan game did something like this, because it helps you understand the process and the creation of this world, and it was so interesting just to hear the thoughts on everything about this game. But yeah, Spork is a brilliant game. Please go and give it a go if you're looking for a completed fan game, because it's a really interesting game, and I think a lot of people will really, really love this. So number 3, we have Super Pokemon Eevee Edition. Now this is a very unique fan game. The battle style is like a Final Fantasy game where your Pokemon have a timer cooldown before attacking, and you also battle with 4 Pokemon at once. It sounds like a lot, but honestly, it's easy to pick up and it's super fun. This game has a very interesting story as well, which is, it sounds crazy, but it's very good, trust me. So, you're in a Gen 2 style game. I believe your character and a lot of other people in the world don't realize they're in a game, but anyway, there are these beings called hypervisors, which are like, you know, like God, and they are trying to delete the world so that Gen 3 can start. Like with Gen 1 and 2, obviously Gen 2 isn't a graphical upgrade, but they could just add in, you know, new Pokemon and stuff. But with Gen 3, the graphics change, and they have to delete everyone to bring in Gen 3, but obviously you're trying to stop the deletion of the world, because obviously you'll die and so will other people. You'll get remade into Gen 3 sprites, but I think you'll lose your memory and stuff, so obviously you're trying to stop that from happening. So at times the world will be manipulated and go all crazy with code and errors replacing sprites, and it's just a really crazy story, but it's so interesting. You also have this special Eevee that can evolve and devolve into any evolution at any time, and you unlock more evolutions the more you play. So once you kill a Hypervisor, you'll unlock another evolution. Your Eevee can actually have a normal evolution, like evolve, stays as a normal type, but just looks like a bigger Eevee. It looks really cool. The game story and gameplay, I think, are very unique, and that's why I love it so much. And the amount of side quests in this game and things to collect, it's so good. Super Eevee Edition is just a great game, and it's well worth a play. It recently got updated as well, which I need to play, but unfortunately when I upgraded to Windows 10, I lost my save file for it, so I need to play through it all again just to experience, I think, an extra hour or so, but it's 100% worth it, and I'm going to be doing it. So Super Eevee Edition is number 3. Number 2, we have Pokmon Desolation, and this was a surprise for me. After the latest Reborn update, I was hesitant about picking up another difficult game. I was like, I don't think I can go through the stress of just these difficult battles again, and I thought Desolation was going to be, the same as Reborn and Rejuvenation, because it has this dark story, it has field effects, and it's somewhat difficult, but I didn't find this game that difficult at all. There were some hard bits, like there was one gym leader who gave me a tiny problem, but I managed to beat him relatively fast, and it wasn't that difficult, if I'm honest. And obviously I'm not the greatest at Pokemon, so if I can do it, you guys can easily do it. But the reason I love this game is I got so involved in these characters, and the impact of my decisions would make. It's just this game had multiple choices and different story outcomes. Everything you do is crucial. You can essentially decide who lives and dies, and the game story is just, it's well written, it's brilliant. I don't want to dive too deep into the story here for spoilers' sake, but everything is not what it seems, and the game throws you into these emotional roller coasters, and it's a ride you don't want to get off, but it's so much, and I love it. Like, we're currently waiting for Chapter 5, and I'm really hoping it comes out next year, because Chapter 4's ending, it was like, I don't think I've ever played a Pokemon game where the beta has ended or the game's ended. I've just been like mind blown. It was so crazy, and just it led up to this moment, and just it was a point to end. Like if it was a TV show, that would be a season finale, and you'd be desperately waiting for a new season. And I cannot wait for this game to just get updated. I really can't. So before we get into the best fan game of 2018, our special guest Buttjuice will be sharing his favourite game of 2018. Make sure you show Buttjuice some love. All his social media links are in the description down below. Go follow him, give him a sub, he's an awesome pal, and he really deserves it. So take it away, Buttjuice.
You probably have no idea who I am, so just to clear the waters, I am a Pokemon fan game dev, and I've been active in the community for about 2 years now. I want to start off saying thank you, Hayden, so much for giving me time out of your video to give me a platform to talk about my favorite fan game of 2018. I do think that I have high standards for what is considered a good fan game, and for me, of 2018, I think my favorite one that I played was Pokemon Castaway. It was a Relic Castle Game Jam submission of 2018, and in case you don't know, Relic Castle Game Jam submissions only are given a little bit over a month to make the game, and the 2 people that worked on Castaway actually did it in about 16 to 18 days. Now, hearing that, you may think that the game was either short or boring or not well made, but I can tell you that's not true. The game is actually one of the longer Game Jam submissions of this year, and was really well made. Everything from the maps, to the music choice, to the events, to the story, everything will just flow together really well. If you like nice detailed maps, exploring a forest doesn't seem so repetitive. If you like Final Fantasy games, then you're gonna like the music. If you don't like Final Fantasy games, then you're probably still gonna like the music because it's actually that good. If you like witty and quirky humor, then you're probably gonna like to follow the dialogue in the game and follow the story, because it's another thing that is heavily involved in the game is the story. It actually has a good story from the beginning to the end. If you follow it, you're gonna make connections, and that's how games should be. Now, the game features puzzles, secrets, post-game content, as well as Pokemon from all 7 generations. To me, that's kind of what I need in a fan game these days. The starter choices were very original. You got the choice between Stunky, Deerling, and Barboach, which I've honestly never seen those choices before as starters. Maybe Stunky, but usually those aren't the choices. Now, I'm going to try and wrap it up here. Hopefully the game sounds somewhat interesting to you. I can tell you, to me, it was a blast, and I really can guarantee that you will have fun exploring this mysterious island and playing this game. If you need a new fan game to play and are looking for a game that is completed and isn't over 20 hours, then you should download it, and you should really let the creators know how much you enjoyed it, because I know that they will really appreciate that.
So, thank you Buttjuice for sharing your favorite fan game of 2018. It's now time to get into my favorite fan game of 2018. So, number 1, we have Pokemon Empyrion. Little did I know, this summer when I found that forum page about Empyrion, I'd stumbled into what would become one of my all-time favorite fan games. At the time of making this video, the game is currently on version 0.6, with 0.7 coming very soon. There are currently 6 badges and about 20 hours worth of content here. So, why is this my favorite fan game of 2018? Well, I'll try my best not to spoil anything, but the story is really interesting. It starts with your dad going missing, and you're going to start your journey trying to find him. And did I mention your dad's a secret agent? Because it's pretty rad. That's why he went missing. He went on a mission and things went a little south. So on your journey, you'll encounter many interesting characters and powerful, bizarre Pokemon, and a crazy fusion which I can't spoil and I won't spoil. But the game includes some Fakemon which are great. My advice, catch a Whisper. It's fun evolution. It's so good. I love it so much. The game has a new type in, Light type, which works really well into the game. The game has custom megas for a lot of the starters, so if you want to pick your starter carefully, because it might have a brand new mega. I haven't seen all the custom megas, but not to influence your starter picking, but here is my Mega Infernape. Tell me that does not look perfect. If Mega Infernape was real, that's what I picture it looking like, and it was so good. The game has some regional variants which are just simply amazing. I mean, look at this Smeargle, so cool. Look at this Electric Swellow. And look at this like Deaf Teddiursa, they are so awesome. There's many new items and features in this game, it's just so much to list. Honestly, I know a lot of people put off playing fan games until they're finished, but this is something I think is well worth everyone's time. When it's finished, I can honestly see this being everyone's #1 favorite fan game. Also, I gotta say, in-game you can pick up a hero mask, which is totally awesome. Feels like such an honor having something like this, you know, in the game, and you know, it turns out to be my favorite. I gotta say, 100% it did not influence my decision to put this game at #1, because I was planning to put this game at #1 when I finished 0.5, which the hero mask got added in at 0.6, so just saying. But it was such an honor when I, you know, booted up 0.6 and the mask was just there. I was like, that, oh man, I felt like I cried a little bit, to be honest. But Pokemon Empyrion is my #1 favorite fan game of 2018. So there we have it, my top 10 favorite fan games of 2018. This year we had some banging fan games, and I cannot wait to see what 2019 brings. Massive thank you to everyone that puts the time and effort into making these games. I think I speak for everyone saying we appreciate you making these games so much for us to play. So thank you, and thank you to Buttjuice for sharing his favorite fan game as well. If you guys want to leave a comment down below telling me your favorite fan game you played this year, that would be swell, and maybe people including myself can discover some new fan games to play. Still a few more top 10s to come, so look out for them. But for top 10 fan games, I'll see you in 2019. Peace.